Hello, Jim Gregory, your state representative of the 80th District. We're out in Martinsburg, and it's home to one of the most iconic businesses in the 80th District. There are lots of those, but none is cooler at this time of the year than Ritchie's Dairy, and I'm joined by the general manager, Andrew Ritchey. Andrew, first thing first, how cool is it to be running Ritchie's Dairy these days?
Well, it's exciting. It's exciting. We're expanding here, and I'm glad to have you here for the expansion. But you know, we're happy that that you were able to help us get this the PETA loan for it. We needed to have that. It was important for us to get that loan so that we could expand our dry storage and our cooler space, because quite honestly we were kind of out of space and we wouldn't be able to expand and grow without this loan.
So Andrew, for the people watching at home, it's likely very warm for them, but we're going to cool them off and show them how cool it is to take a tour of Ritchie's Dairy. We're going to do that along with Senator Judy Ward, and we're going to do that right now. So let's get cool and let's see what's going on in Ritchie's Dairy.
Let's go.
Well, Senator Ward preceded me as representative. We both recognize that this location is really, Judy, you would agree, this is one of the most iconic businesses in not just Blair County, but in central Pennsylvania. And to be around 75 years and to be here, the logo is very recognizable. Just talk about what this room's history is like.
Yeah, I mean, we're very humbled by how far we've made it. You know, the dairy was started in 1940 by my great-grandfather. His name was Oliver Ritchie, and he had a farm right here. And he started with this little building where the room that we're standing in was the first building. It was a little 36 by 40 foot building. We made everything in glass milk bottles, which you'll see here pretty soon. We have a nice collection of them. Back then, that was the only way that you'd had glass milk bottles. And back then, the way people could go and get their milk was either come to a little store or get it delivered to their house, which was very popular. And we're very happy that we're one of the 3 dairies left in the state that still do home delivery. But we've also grown, you know, considerably since then. But we started out with just little trucks, and these trucks weren't even refrigerated back then. We had an ice machine. It was actually, we had a little cooler, I guess, that they built here, and there was a dock. And we had a little ice machine, and we'd actually take bags of ice. They would load the trucks in the morning with the glass milk bottles, and then they would throw bags of ice on top of these milk bottles to keep the milk cold whenever they would deliver back then. So it's pretty neat. We have a full line of hand-dipped ice creams here, usually around 30 flavors. We also have soft serve ice cream. We do sundaes, we do cyclones, we do milkshakes, pretty much any kind of banana splits, any kind of ice cream creation that you can imagine.
And what sorts of, you have the milk, what different types of milk?
Oh, we have all kinds of fluid milk, you know, the different percent of fats of milk, plus we have chocolate milk. In the winter, whenever schools are in session, we make vanilla and strawberry milk for the schools. We also process iced tea here, and we only use Roaring Spring water to make all of our teas with, which is another Blair County dairy. We're happy to have a good agreement with them. So all of our teas and lemonades are made with Roaring Spring water. All of our jugs come from Pennsylvania. All of our caps come from, they all come from Pittsburgh. The jugs and the caps all come from Pittsburgh.
Talk about the wall and how you support the community. So people don't always know, outside of those that go to the Ag Parade on the 4th of July, that you're handing out about 4,000 cartons of milk. But then you support just so many different sports teams, and you're award-winning. And
we try to be very community oriented. I think that's been passed down in our family for generations. You know, my grandpa Paul, you know, I never really knew Oliver, but I knew Paul. He was very community oriented. He was in the Martinsburg Boosters. He was in the Jaffa Shriners. He always liked to give back. My dad, you know, has instilled that in me, to give back to the community that serves us. You know, they're loyal by buying our products. We want to be loyal to them by trying to support the community in any way we can. We support all kinds of youth youth band, youth sports teams of any sort. If you look up here on the wall, we have everything from soccer, youth soccer, to youth softball, youth football, youth baseball. We, Galactic Ice, we, help with the Trackers organization, the Altoona Trackers, youth ice hockey. We try to give back to the community in very different ways, whether it's that or, yes, in the FFA. Every 5 years, we do like a special commemorative bottle, which you'll see down there. We have a copy of our commemorative bottle since our 60th anniversary. Every 5 years, we'll do this special bottle, and we make it look like one of our old bottles, and then we sell it for $8 out of our dairy store, and they only cost us $2 to buy. So every $6, we'll donate all that money to the FFA, the local FFA chapters. So we usually donate over $4,000 to them, just so that, to help them out. It's kind of a way to give back, the community. But there's numerous things that we do.
Okay.
All right. Well, what we have here is we have a nice collection of our milk bottles. We have these are all different bottles, and the ones on the top are actually some of our oldest bottles. Actually, almost every bottle that's on the top here is all from the 1940s. We have some neat ones here. We have 4 different ones that are encouraging people to buy U.S. war bonds and stamps during World War II. So that's pretty neat. And the different ones that say 5-cent store, they were bottles that were only that people could get their 5 cents back because they bought it at the store. If it didn't say 5 cents like this one, it was one that was used on a home delivery route. And then they would just return their bottle whenever, whenever we would come and give them a new bottle. One of the neat ones here, I always like to point this one out, says that this was from 1942, and it's a gallon one. It was a gallon buttermilk jug, but it says that our phone number was 34R4. That was our first ever phone number. Starting in 1960, we had both cartons and glass bottles. We started going away from those glass bottles probably then. By about the early 70s, we kind of discontinued bottles, and we went to strictly just cartons for a time period till about 1986 when we went to start doing some plastic bottles.
This might be a good place to segue into from this history to the history of your employees. How would you describe the workforce that you have here as far as just how they are really family here in the Cove area?
We have a lot of, well, we couldn't do what we can do without our employees. We've been blessed with very good employees, very conscientious employees that care about their job, and they care about working for us, and we try to treat them as as family. We've had people that that have worked for us for 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah, we have a couple that have worked here over 50 years for us.
You multi-generational?
Multi-generational. We have Randy Heinisch, who's our operations manager. His parents actually met here. His dad was one of our first he was our first tank truck driver. But actually, before we had a tank truck, before the days of having a tank truck, he actually drove a flatbed pickup truck around the farms, and farms would put cans of milk at the end of their lane when they milked their cows, and then he would go and pick up the milk cans and then drop them off, a couple of empty ones for them to use for the next day. Yeah, Stick Heinisch, he was our first tank truck driver, and then his future wife then was dipping ice cream out here, and then so.
How many kids got their first job dipping ice cream here?
Hundreds. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even be. I don't know. I don't know how many people. We go through a lot of a lot of that, because that's a job that is an entry level job that that
teaches
the kids
them to show up on time, and
it teaches them good work ethic,
good work habits,
and they get a strong right wrist or left, depending on what they are. Yes, the dipping and the. Yes, but it does. We're happy to say we've had an awful lot of, blessed with a lot of good employees. But
yeah, that's cool. So during the summer, I know ice cream production is at an all-time high. So I understand you're making some right now.
It is.
We are. Well, Senator and I will join you, and we'll go back.
Sounds good. All right, so right now we're here in the ice cream room. This is where we do all of our ice cream production. Right now they're actually making salted caramel chocolate pretzel ice cream, which is one of our newer flavors that we have here. We always try to come up with some new and inventive flavors. We make about 60 different flavors of ice cream throughout the year. Different ones for different times of the year. Now that it's summer, sometimes we'll have birthday cake, we'll have cotton candy. In the fall, we'll have caramel apple, we'll do pumpkin pie ice cream. And then during the winter, Christmas time, we'll do peppermint stick. We'll do some eggnog ice cream. See, these are chocolate covered pretzel balls. And what we have here is a continuous freeze ice cream machine. All of our ice cream mix is in those tanks over there. And then we put flavors in, and all the ice cream actually is being processed in this machine right here. So what it is, it's actually chocolate butterfudge ice cream that we're making right now. It's coming out here, getting pumped down, and then we're incorporating the chocolate covered pretzels right here. And this is our ingredient feeder. And what it's doing is it's just dropping pretzels into the ice cream as it's going by. And it comes up over here. And you can see up at the top there, we have chocolate ice cream with the pretzels in it. And then on this side, we have a salted caramel syrup that we're incorporating into the ice cream. And then as the ice cream is being pumped in, it injects the salted caramel swirl through it.
One of the things that I think makes the ice cream so popular is that you don't skimp on the materials that you put in. Your peanut butter comes from New York.
Yes, it does.
Your other candy comes, I mean, it's about the product that goes into the
right.
already excellent Ritchie's ice cream, but you don't skimp on the product you put in.
If we're going to make cookies and cream, we put Oreo cookies in. And if we have a Reese's peanut butter crunch, we're going to put Reese's Pieces. We just put Reese's Pieces right into it, but we try to find the best quality ingredients. Right. Everything comes from the United States. We try to keep it as local as possible from all our ingredients. But you're right, the peanut butter, we found a really good peanut butter company up in New York, and that peanut butter is really good.
It really is.
It is. It's really good.
So this is the new expansion that is basically the result of so much success selling ice cream that you need to create more space. And so this space is going to be for what?
Oh, well, that's right. What this space is going to be is it's about a 50 by 60 foot space here. But what we're going to be using it for is for ingredient storage. It's our dry storage for ingredients for making ice cream and for the ice cream mixes. All the ingredients that we're going to need.
One of the things that I think is so important to you, and I know it's important to the Senator and myself, is that when you do a project like this, when PETA money is made available, you recognize how important it is to use local businesses to help facilitate getting this all together. Talk about the number of local businesses, spin-offs, that are experiencing the benefit of this expansion.
Absolutely. That was one thing that we were very concerned about immediately. Whenever we got the loan, we wanted to make sure that we used Pennsylvania contractors for everything. So we used Bob Reeker Construction. He is our general contractor. We used Coral Buildings Systems out of Claysburg, made this building. Where the new cooler that we're going to see here soon, where we're breaking ground on, that cooler is all being built in Clearfield at Tafco Industries.
Right down to the concrete we're standing on.
Right down with New Enterprise poured the concrete. We have Ebersol's Heating and Plumbing doing all our plumbing needs for it. We use Neff Electric out of Altoona for all our electricity.
So we start regionally, and then if a
Yeah,
region,
anything that we can
anything
locally.
in the area can't be provided, you stay within Pennsylvania, you try.
Yes, and it absolutely, we're trying to keep all the money in Pennsylvania.
That's
I mean,
great.
that's the goal here. And we try to do that with a lot of things, like our jugs will come, like these trailer bays that we have up here. These are all tractor trailers full of jugs, and they're all made in Pennsylvania. We get all of our jugs, get all of our caps, all come from Pittsburgh.
So from this expansion, I think we're all excited to see what the new expansion looks like outside and how the construction is coming. I understand there's activity out there today, so let's go take a look.
Absolutely. Yep.
So for Senator Ward and I, what we like to see is people working.
Yep.
And I'm sure as the owner and the overseer of the project, you love seeing this as well. This is an exciting day that this kind of work is now taking place.
It is exciting. It's been a long time coming. It's nice to see it. And what we're looking at here right now, we have a, you can see our present kohler. Our present kohler, it's a 60 by 40 kohler, where those numbers are. And what we're doing is we're putting an expansion on a 50 by 100 foot kohler. So it might be hot right now, but it's going to be cool in there in a couple of months. And right now, what they're doing is they're forming all the walls right now, and then we're going to have a retaining wall here. And we're going to have 8 bays on this door, so we're actually going to be doubling the size of our kohler and doubling the size of the space where we can load our trucks out of. So, but right now they're going to be pouring the walls here, hopefully tomorrow, and then getting the floor done, the kohler floor done, hopefully next week. The project should be completed by the end of October, which is exciting.
That's great.
So,
Good.
yeah.
Talk about just the process of obtaining the loan. In the legislature, we want to try and, work on regulations. We want to try and reform the regulatory atmosphere. We want to make the atmosphere conducive to businesses growing. Positives, negatives in that process, we're open to hearing. This is a good opportunity to let us know what we need to do better.
Yeah. Well, as far as the PETA loan, we were very gracious to get that. It's a little bit of hoops to jump through. But the biggest things we had, there's just a lot of regulations, just getting the paperwork in place, the blueprints in place, because there's so many different offices that have to approve this, from Labor and Industry to, it was North Woodbury Township, Blair County Planning Commission, Blair County Conservation Office, and of course the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, all had to sign off on this same piece of paper. And there was a lot of time that it takes to go and get a lot of red tape to jump through to get even to the point where we could apply for the loan for it, because they want to see, well, what's the loan going for, but we can't, until we have all those blueprints in place, then we can't get quotes for anything. So then we can't apply for the loan until we have the quotes. And it was a
process.
This was a process. By October, you're talking over 2 years easy from the time we started just trying to get paperwork together, because there was always, okay, well, this place didn't like this or this place didn't like that, so then we had to repeatedly, resubmit forms,
right?
And resubmit forms. And there's a lot of money and time that is used up there that could have been, maybe used a little.
And a
better.
PETA loan is a low interest loan that
businesses,
Pennsylvania businesses can use to expand, hire more people in that expansion, deliver more product, and you're kind of paying it back by, you will certainly pay it back monetarily, but you're also paying it back in the fact that you've hired local contractors and local people and people within Pennsylvania to do the entire project. So that's really neat.
Right, and hopefully with this, I hopefully see our business expand. And we only use Pennsylvania milk, as I'd already explained. We only use milk from Pennsylvania farms, all local here right now. But we intend to hopefully add some more businesses, add some more jobs in the future, and continue to help the Pennsylvania economy by only trying to use as much local products, local contractors as we can.
And that's what it's designed to do, so way to go.
And it was we're very grateful for the loan. Very grateful for this loan.
So as we wrap up a great tour and a great day with Ritchey's Dairy, let's go over and see the trucks, and let's get just that last bit of information about Ritchey's Dairy that makes you such an iconic business in this community.
All right, sounds good.
Well, Andrew, as we stand here in front of one of your newest trucks, and I see that it's represented by PA Preferred, Ritchey's Dairy really does support the Pennsylvania agriculture economy, doesn't it?
Yes, and we're very happy to be part of the PA Preferred. That means all of our milk comes from Pennsylvania. You know, all of our ice cream is made with milk that comes from Pennsylvania. We're actually part of the Western PA ice cream trail this year, sponsored by PA Preferred. So we're one of the 9 ice cream shops in Western Pennsylvania, from Pittsburgh over to this area, that the people can go on. They can go online and get they can get a little card, and they can go around and try to get it punched, so that they can say that they went to all 9 trails. If they go to all the ice cream locations this summer, then they get a free shirt and a free mug that say that they conquered
they conquered the 9 trails.
They conquered the PA ice cream trail.
Very
so this is one of our newer trucks.
Yeah, what is it about this truck that makes it special?
Well, this one is still one of our trucks that do home delivery, as well as we can deliver wholesale stops out of it. We bought this truck. We actually had it all insulated down in Lancaster at Arctic Vans in Lancaster, and then we used Thermo King of Pittsburgh to do all of our refrigeration work on it. But it's about a year old, and it's serving us very well.
Andrew, thanks very much for the time today. We really appreciate you doing this with us, and also for Senator Ward to join us on this tour. And best of luck and best wishes for Ritchey's Dairy in the future.
Thank you very much for coming.
All right.
Happy to have you.
That's it for today. Thank you very much for joining us on the tour of Ritchey's Dairy here in the 80th District. We'll talk again soon.